right, so hi, how you doing today?
Good.
All right. How did you and I meet today?
Just getting to me.
Absolutely. You're on your way to work. I'm going that way.
Yeah.
I approached you. What did I approach you about?
If I want to do an interview.
Okay. And do you remember what the topics are? 3 topics.
Feedback.
Uh-huh.
Mental health and something about
Reflexology. There you go. There you go. In terms of when you hear the word feet, what do you think about? First thing that goes to your mind? Toes. Cool. We're gonna ask you some questions today about your thoughts about like the subject of feet. You just feel free to answer however you like. Okay. What about mental health? What do you think about when you hear that?
brain.
Brain? Okay, cool. Gotta talk a little bit about like dealing with stress during the holidays. Like what do you do to like counteract those emotions that you might feel? Okay. And then lastly, reflexology. You said, what is that? Right? I'm gonna give you information today and then you just tell me how you feel about it. Sound good? All right, cool. Let's start with the first question. How do you manage your stress during the holidays? Like what do you do?
I shop.
You shop? Oh, okay, shopaholic.
Shop, yeah.
Nice. Do you go to any stores in particular, or is it kind of just more like what you're feeling in the moment? Okay, that makes sense. In terms of the holidays, do you have any routines or must-haves, things that you need to do, like traditionally, or maybe just stuff that makes you feel good during the holidays?
Just take time to myself, I guess.
Okay.
Listen to music. Go places that I enjoy, like the beach.
Okay, nice. In terms of, in your opinion, the world would be better if, and just fill in the blank.
If everybody was kind to each other.
Okay, I like that. And that's mostly the answers I've been getting. I'd say like 80% have been saying that.
Yeah, because you never know what somebody's going through or like their situation. So even if you're having a shitty day, at least like try to.
Yeah, be nice to everybody.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Good vibes only, or acknowledge everything that I'm feeling. Okay.
Your feelings matter.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't ever let anybody tell you right that they don't, right? If you feel a certain way, see why you feel that way and kind of like sit with it for a little bit, right? Absolutely. When I think about my feet, I feel. Okay. So you feel ticklish? Okay. But do you feel good, bad? How do you feel about like when you think about your feet? Do you think that, nice, beautiful? What do you think? Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. If someone complimented me on my feet, I would feel. And why? Why embarrassed?
I don't know, because I want to see it from like their perspective.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You want to know what it is that they think is nice about them. Okay. Have you ever asked? Has anybody ever given you that compliment before? Nobody's ever said that to you? Oh, okay. Interesting. When a man compliments me, I feel. You feel good. Okay. When a woman compliments me, I feel great. There. I just got that same answer from somebody. Said the same thing. She's like, good. And then she's like, great. Like, I was like, that's amazing. How often do you get pedicures during the winter? Barely? Is it more because like it's kind of cold?
Yeah.
You're not really going to show your feet that much, right?
Just stay there, like inside, so it's not like this.
That makes sense. How often do you wear like open toe shoes during the winter, like sandals and flip flops, things like that? Every day. So you still wear open toe shoes, but the pedicure not as much. No. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, interesting. All right, so now can we see what your feet look like? Yeah. Okay, let me have you put your feet up here. Just put both of them down flat, right here.
Both of them?
Yeah. Take them both and then just sit them here.
Okay, so I took them off.
Yeah. Just put them here. All right. Cool. And so what size do you wear, first of all?
7.
Size 7? Does it vary depending on the type of shoe you're wearing? Like,
Yeah.
if it's a flat or a heel or it's like sandal, it might be a little bit different?
Yeah, like
Okay.
6.
Tennis shoes are a little bit different? Okay.
Yeah, like 7.
7, so you go up a size to give space, like kind of for your toes and everything. That makes sense. Okay. Looks like you have a great toe alignment. I don't know if you know what this toe alignment is called, but it's called the Egyptian toe alignment. Have you heard of that before? Okay. So when your a bigger toe is longer, right? That's called Egyptian. If your second toe is longer, it's called Grecian, which is like a Greek toe. So you might have Greek lineage, but for you, Egyptian. That's really dope. Cool. Now can we see the bottoms? You might put them up here? Is that cool?
The bottom?
Yeah. You're clean. Don't worry. It's just like, are my feet clean? Like, okay. You have a pretty nice arch. Yeah, you have pretty nice feet. Like, so there's your first compliment. You said you haven't got compliments for your first compliment. You have pretty nice feet. All right. Leave here. We're gonna go through a couple more exercises. Okay. in terms of like the mental health, let me give you like a little bit what got me started with my channel, okay? And I want you to tell me what you think about it. So during quarantine, I was watching another guy's channel, and he was talking about exposure therapy. Are you familiar with that? Okay, so it's for people, let's say, for example, you have a phobia or you feel uncomfortable in certain situations, right? What therapists will tell you to do is like, go out and do that, right? Like you do it over and over again so you can get used to like how you feel in the moment, right? So you may feel uncomfortable, but it's like you start to ask yourself questions like, okay, like what am I really feeling now? Like, is there anything threatening my life? Anything threatening my safety? And then it like kind of allows you to understand why you feel the way you feel, right? But the whole point of it is so you can push yourself out of your comfort zone, because sometimes people are like, well, no, I don't want to do that because I'm not comfortable, and they just stay in that comfort zone, right? But it's like pushing yourself past that. So when I heard about that, I'm like, I'm an overthinker. Like I will overthink every situation. Like I'm like, well, should I do this? Should I do that? And like in reality, not every situation requires you to overthink it. Like sometimes it's just best to like make a decision and live with like whatever you made, right? So I heard about that. I was like, okay, with all the women who have become like foot models now, it's like that's a new thing, right? How would a random woman who I just met like react in a situation where I'm like asking these questions? We ask to see what you feel like. Like, is she comfortable? Is she uncomfortable? Like, and I get different reactions from that. So some women are kind of open and they're just like, yeah, sure, no worries, right? They don't overthink it. Some women will overthink it. And then I get some women who are like, nah, I'm good. But the whole point of my channel is to like show those reactions I get so that I can make a more positive conversation around feet. People don't feel weird about it. They don't feel uncomfortable. It can be like a positive thing, right? What are your thoughts about that? How do you feel about that? Okay, because I noticed right now, right? You had your feet on and you put your feet away quickly. Like, were you feeling self-conscious? What was going on? A little. Nobody really asked to see you. Okay, so a little uncomfortable. In terms of what was going on, did anything bad happen? Anything negative? Anything like that? So that's the whole point of what I'm trying to do. Like to see, can you be comfortable? When do you get uncomfortable? Why are you uncomfortable? See? Exactly. But like you learn to see like you can do some things and like nothing will happen bad, and so you don't need to overthink it. Exactly. So let's talk about reflexology, okay? And then we'll let you get out of here. I know you gotta go to work. You still got time. So reflexology is all about the different pressure points you have in your hands and in your feet. All right. So there's like pressure points that connect to like different parts of your body. So like through massage, through acupuncture, acupressure, you can like alleviate like stress and tension to various parts of your body. I don't know if you've ever seen like sometimes you can go around like different malls and stuff and they have like the charts up with your feet and it's like different spots. It almost looks like a map. That's kind of what reflexology is. What are your thoughts about it? How do you feel about reflexology? Yeah. It's a way to like help your body out. Like let's say if like you had back pain or something like that, right? You can massage portions of your hands and feet to like relieve tension that you feel there. So those are like some things you can do. Absolutely. Is that when they poke the needles? Well, that's acupuncture, yeah. So that's one part of it. Massage is another part, and then acupressure is another part of it. So these are all things you can do to alleviate tension to different parts of your body. So yeah, there you go. Learned something new today, right? Yeah. All right. So in terms of reflexology, usually when we get to this portion, we like to talk about sensitivity. How ticklish do you tend to be? You get pedicures, you really ticklish? Yeah. I have a trick for you. Do you mind if we test it real quick? Okay, cool. Hold the camera for me real quick. What I'm gonna have you do, put your feet here, and then I'm gonna use the tool and we'll test. I want you to tell me where you feel it at the most and which foot it's on the most. Okay? Wait, both of them? Yeah. Because like one foot's usually more sensitive than the other. So we want to see what that is and why. All right, cool. So put your feet here. Like, yeah, prop them up. All right, and then so we're gonna start with the right. Tell me where you feel it at the most and then which foot is most, okay? You ready? 1, 2, 3. Where do you feel it at the most? Is it like in your arch, right in the middle? The middle. Right in the middle part, so right there. Okay. Let's try your left. Tell me if this one is worse, okay? 1, 2, 3, ready? This one worse or less? Less, okay. So here's what I want you to do now. While I'm doing this, I want you to wiggle your toes. You tell me if you feel it more or less. Wiggle here. Okay. Is it more or less? Less. You know why? Why? So, because you're telling your mind, right, move my toes. It's like a distraction in a way, right? But also because your toes are moving, it moves the energy from spot to spot. So that's like a little trick for you. You get your pedicures, when they do like that pumice stone, which is usually, move your toes a little bit. It'll help you out. Cool. Let's try your left. Tell me if it's less here. Wiggle there. Wiggle your toes. Is that less? Feel less? Okay, cool. Let me have you do a couple exercises real quick. Just gonna test the flexibility. Put your feet back. Bend your toes over, make a fist. Tell me if you feel pain or discomfort when you're doing it. Just bend. Pain or discomfort? Is it easy to do? Hard to do? Okay, relax. Spread your toes. Tell me if you feel pain or discomfort. Easy to do? Hard to do? Okay. Wiggle your toes for about 10 seconds. Tell me if you feel pain or discomfort. Is that easy to do or hard to do? Easy? Okay, cool. All right, let's wrap up. Now you gotta get out of here. So, first of all, last questions. If somebody you knew, family member, friend, came to you, wanted to treat you to a pedicure, how would your thoughts be? How would you feel about that? You'd accept? Okay. If someone you just met wanted to treat you to a pedicure, what would your thoughts be on that? You would contemplate, think about it a little bit? Okay. So in this moment, I want to treat you to a pedicure, not today, but at a later date, on behalf of my channel. What were your thoughts about that? How would you feel about that? You be down? Okay, cool. We'll exchange information. Let's wrap up the interview. In terms of my approach coming up to you, what were your thoughts about my approach? Was it good? Was it bad? How did you feel about it? It's good? Okay, nice. In terms of the interview, did you see how everything was going along in the line? Did it make sense? Did you learn anything new? Learned a couple of things new, right? The last thing I'll ask, like something from a mental health standpoint, maybe a life lesson you learned or some wise words that somebody has shared with you that you could share with my channel. Anything, whatever you want to say.
Being poor is hard.
Okay.
Becoming rich is harder. So it's your hard.
All right.
Just keep pushing. Wherever you want to be in life.
I love that. I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much. Definitely appreciate you stopping to do this interview with us. We hope that you have a great one, okay? All right.
Thank you.